War veterans have resolved to tackle President Emerson Mnangagwa and businessman Kutakwash Tagwariai head-on over what they allege is an attempt to privatize land ownership and reverse the agrarian reforms that they fought for. Mnangagwa recently announced a new land tenure program that will see the issuance of title deeds in place of 99-year leases and offer letters previously issued to landowners. He announced the introduction of the land tenure implementation program through a cabinet sitting in October 2024. The president later appointed Tagwariai, who is on the United States sanctions list for alleged corruption, as the chairperson of the Land Tenure Implementation Committee. Under the program, land reform beneficiaries are expected to pay $500 per hectare levy. Critics argue that the state is transferring the historical responsibility to compensate former white commercial farmers onto individual farmers, setting them for failure. On Saturday, provincial executives of the Land Tenure Implementation Program, ZNLWVA, met in Bulawayo and resolved to challenge the ongoing land regularization, where selected banks voiced loans on farmers to pay for the land war. Veterans pushed back, saying the state and its financially connected ZANU-PF elites want to steal their land, first from the politics of seizing land and from the financial capital generated by lending against it. The ZNLWVA held a meeting in Bulawayo with chairpersons from all 10 provinces. The gathering deliberated on urgent issues affecting veterans and the nation at large. ZNLWVA leader Andres Mathabila said in a statement, "Veterans must urgently unite under the association's collective leadership to end destructive divisions that harm ordinary comrades. The association will resist the selling of land, the sacred prize of the liberation struggle, which must remain the heritage of all Zimbabwean. Every veteran must be allocated not less than 100 hectares of agricultural land to sustain livelihoods and support food security." On Friday, outspoken war veteran Blessed Bombshell Gaza also spoke out against Mnangagwa's land regularization as a corrupt scam. "And now, as if the plunder is not enough, you attack the very heart of our liberation, the land reform program," Gaza said. "We fought for our land. Robert Mugabe redistributed it to war veterans and the landless Zimbabweans, yet you work with Tagwariai to privatize it, using a dubious title deed scheme that will see farmers lose what they bled for." Political analyst Jealousy Mawarir also criticized the land regularization exercise as a scam meant to prejudice farmers for billions of dollars. The Land Tenure Implementation Committee is an illegal entity already collecting money from farmers for land valuation on top of that demanded for title deed, setting the farmers to default on the loans and lose their land to a bank owned by the Secunda proprietor, he told Newsday in an interview. A group of war veterans recently dragged Mnangagwa to court to challenge his land tenure implementation program, which is fronted by Tagwariai. The ex-combatants, through their war veterans pressure group Trust, wanted the court to declare Mnangagwa's land tenure system unconstitutional. In his founding affidavit, war veteran Joseph Chingwawa said ex-combatants had been advised during meetings that they ought to pay a fee for the land they occupied before they could acquire title deeds.